We're here tonight at Brandon Theaters watching Alien Covenant. The movie starts off like every other Alien movie. Ship, space, problem. So you got a crew, 15 people, basically, colonization. They've got a bunch of other people in hypersleep, whatnot, and they're gonna go to their new planet, colonize. When all of a sudden, we get a distress signal. Cool! And they keep that traditional thing. If we get a signal, we have to check it out. That's like our responsibility. No problem, I combine with that. And we get to the planet. Oh, look, this planet is totally habitable. How do we not see it before? It's too good to be true. It's kind of like, we've done this before. We've seen this before. There's nothing new being presented to me. So we get to the planet. Then this is when the movie, I think, goes into that creep factor that the original Alien tried to do. The atmospheric thing. You're on a planet. Keep in mind, a planet. Nothing. No birds, bugs, nothing. That should be your first sign. Get out of there. Just done. We're done. We landed. We checked. No one here. Let's go. Bam.
I'm going to preface this by saying I'm not really a horror movie fan. I enjoyed the second Aliens movie being more of an action movie than a horror movie, but when the goal of the movie is to scare the viewer, make you jump, make you squirm, it's not really my kind of movie. I normally skip the horror movies for the reviews because that's how much I don't enjoy them. But being an Alien movie, I really wanted to be part of this because I wanted to see what it was. And I'm glad I came. There were actually aspects of this movie that I really enjoyed, but there are definitely aspects of this movie I did not enjoy. I'm all about immersion. And there were so many moments in this movie where a character did something I felt to be out of character that it really bothered me. People were panicking when they're supposed to be trained professionals. It's like a doctor seeing blood and running out a door. That's how stupid some of this stuff was. It didn't make any sense for the characters that they established in this role. This crew is supposed to be in charge of 2,000 souls plus a bunch of embryos, and yet the decisions they make it seem like they were civilians that weren't trained on anything. And I wanted to see a competent crew handle a situation that was just too badass for them, that they just couldn't handle. But instead I saw a pretty incompetent crew, way more incompetent than the first Alien movie, handle something that was way too badass for them anyway. So I mean, I guess it probably wouldn't have saved anybody if they were more competent, but I think it would have made more sense as a movie if I would have seen them make decisions that weren't ridiculous.
But then the movie kind of does this weird, it didn't really know what it wanted to be. There were several parts of the movie where it was trying to be scary, like with the whole atmospheric thing and the whole idea of big, large, nothing you can do, no one can hear you scream kind of thing, to kind of science fiction stupidness, to trying to be kind of an action shooter kind of thing. It was just like, it didn't know what it wanted to be once it hit a certain point. And it's just like, okay, I guess?
The Alien movie does what most Alien movies do well, and that's atmosphere. Excellent place they were in. The planet was interesting. The ship was interesting. The different places they go that you'll see when you watch the movie were very interesting. I enjoyed all the atmosphere. The aliens themselves, very cool. Probably one of the coolest sci-fi creatures / horror creatures I've ever seen. These are really cool creatures. And this movie just shows more of that. They just show that this is the ultimate badass creature. And if you're just going to see some aliens kick some ass, well then guess what? You're gonna love it.
Honestly though, the big payoff isn't till towards the end. The end, for me, I took it as total fan service because they took the alien, the xenomorph, did something totally cool that you've never seen before. And if you have seen it before, I haven't read and played everything, but I loved what I saw. That thing was so visceral, it was so badass. You're like, this is what I wanted. I wanted this. This is the movie I should have had from the entire time, not the last few minutes.
In the original Alien movie and a lot of the sequels, they really focused on you on the edge of your seat. They wanted you to not know what was going to happen. They wanted you to be able to cut the tension in the air with the knife. This movie didn't really have that. I pretty much knew what was going to happen. I'm all, that guy's going to do something dumb, completely not what that character would have done if he was actually trained, and he's going to die. And that's pretty much what happens in the entire movie. Someone does something dumb, they do something that a trained organization wouldn't do, and then they die. Then you get to see more cool aliens, and then someone else does something dumb, and then they die. So there's a moment in the movie where they try to trick you, and they did a absolutely horrible job doing it. And I feel that up to that point, I was like, this is an okay movie. But once I hit that point, I was like, really? You're really not going to try that hard? You could have tried so much harder. It would have been so much better if you tried harder. So that was extremely disappointing.
But really, all in all, the movie, it looked good. The sets looked good, the planet looked good, the xenomorphs looked good. Acting, it was there. Some of the motivations of things, not there. And then, like I said, there was a part of the movie where it kind of took different things and threw it together. It was like, all right, whoever walks out's the winner, and that's how we're going to end this thing. Kind of raised some more questions than it did answer. It did answer a couple things, but introduced more questions. Mike said this is supposed to be two more sequels, so hopefully within these 2 more sequels, I will get all the answers that I want. I'm trusting Ridley Scott here with his passion project.
Acting-wise, the actors they chose were really good. Fassbender's always amazing, and he was even more amazing in this than I thought he was going to be because of, you'll see. I think that my complaints of this movie could be considered to be nitpicks, and let me explain what I mean. These things that I'm talking about where the crew made choices that didn't seem apt, didn't seem to bother anybody else I've talked to that watched this movie. They acknowledged that they're there, and most of the time they agreed that they're there, but they just kind of went, it's not that bad, it's no big deal. So I'm thinking that maybe that's just something I look for in movies that most people don't, and so it kind of drilled at me a little bit more than most. So take that as you will. If that's something that you kind of think, it wouldn't really bother me, well, that's good. I hope you enjoy the movie more than I did.
All in all, I'm gonna give the movie a 5.5 out of 10. It's the ending is what really did it for me. But I was really bored through a lot of this movie. I really was. I mean, I get it. You gotta get the setup. I'm not gonna hound that. The setup is always important. But after, like I said, after it got to a certain point, it's kind of like, get to the point already.
So I'm going to give this movie a 6.5 out of 10. It could have been a lot better. I think that just small choices in the writing of the characters and small choices in the way they presented certain aspects of the storyline could have been done way better. And I expect so much more from Ridley Scott. Very disappointing that these characters were so one-dimensional. But you go to see an action movie for the action. You go to see a horror movie for the horror. And you know what? The aliens were cool. The stuff they did to people was cool. The gore was cool. So it still gets points. It definitely delivers on at least half of its promise.
Question for you this week. Out of all the Alien movies out there, which one's your favorite one? Mine? Aliens. Love Aliens. Oh my god, dude. You can watch that over and over and over again. That's how you do a sequel to a movie, and that's how you do an Alien movie. Period.
Game over, man. Game over.
Sigourney. Love it. So shoot that down there below. I'm curious to know what's your favorite Alien movie. And then go on ahead, subscribe to this channel, favorite this video, like it. When you hit that subscribe button, you get more reviews like this, plus throwbacks, other shenanigans we do on the daily and weekly. And remember guys, you heard it here at The Source.